In the last episode, Josh and I found this ancient shaman who claimed he could help us bring Dion back from his curse. The townsfolk gathered in the church, eagerly awaiting the transformation that will be happening in this episode. Oh, and we also lost the communal house in the middle of the spruce hamlet to a massive hole.
Wake up! It's 4. It's 4 in the morning. We mustn't be hasty. We must be hasty. Come on. Do we need to bring anything for this ritual? I think he said something about the last ingredient.
Like eggs?
Oh, the apple. That apple, he said. The glowing one.
Frenzy had hypothesized that a golden apple would be the final ingredient needed to complete the transformation. And as luck would have it, Josh and I had 1 or 2 of those stored away. And if you're wondering how we got these, we found them in the abandoned chests in the mine shafts. We certainly didn't steal them from innocent families in a neighboring village.
Frenzy!
Frenzy, we're here! Okay, we're coming in. I think Frenzy's still asleep. Dion!
There he was, a beast, caged up behind iron bars, twitching a bit.
Frenzy, we're here. It's 4:30.
Is he in there?
Good morning, Cuck.
Oh, Frenzy, good morning.
Let's get started, shall we?
As Frenzy emerged from his bedroom wearing his cloak, he started spinning gleefully, shouting,
Hooray, hoorah, today is the day. You, grab that vial.
Okay,
Oh, good catch.
thanks. Frenzy?
You will be the one to throw the potion.
I don't know.
You do have strong arms.
Is it gonna hurt Dion?
Well, my friend, it won't feel good.
I'm not sure I want...
Just do it, damn it.
Okay, if it's for the greater good.
With the potion held in my hand, Josh opened up the cage to ensure that I don't miss because, well, I have the dexterity of a 14-year-old dog. Now with the cage open, we were nearing time to start the transformation.
Alright, are you ready?
There's gonna be some splash. You're in the wet zone, guys.
Here, I think you're gonna give him the apple.
The apple. Okay.
I threw the bottle in. As it smashed, it coated Dion in a fine layer of the potion.
Okay! Now I think you need to feed him the apple.
Alright. Here comes Dion. Open up.
The moment that this apple touched Dion's well, he doesn't really have lips, he started violently shaking as Frenzy was shouting these words.
Cure the curse, but not the worst. Make him a lamb for me at my hand.
Wait, that doesn't sound like it was part of the ritual.
I thought we were already done with the ritual.
Oh, this is a precautionary step.
I trust you, Francie. That's why you're here.
I trust you too.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll report back in the afternoon, okay, Frenzy?
Sure,
We'll see how the transformation's gone.
be gone with you.
Well, after an incredibly eventful morning, Josh and I spent the rest of the day relaxing. We were, however, curious about why Francie was chanting those few last words. Something about the worst not being gone and being a lamb at his hand or something. It did sound an awful lot like he was trying to brainwash our sweet Dion. But in the early hours of the afternoon, the church bell rang and it was time to go see if the transformation was a success.
There's a lot of chatter going on in there.
Chatter was good, right? They must have been talking to Dion, talking about his experiences.
Dion? Dion?
Dion! Dion!
There he was, the sweet boy that once fell upon the spruce hamlet, Dion. Josh wasted no time in setting him free of these iron bars, but Dion was quite content to be rid of that curse. And boy, he looks better than ever.
How do you feel? Tell us what happened.
I'm okay. It was dark and scary.
That must have been horrible.
God. Darkness.
Yes, and I was aware the whole time.
You remember everything?
Every sunrise and every rain cloud.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Dion, I'm sorry we didn't do this sooner.
You too should be sorry.
Well, we didn't know.
That's not good enough, pal.
Honestly, I thought you were a goner.
After a passive-aggressive interaction with Dion, we decided to head outside and show him the hamlet. We encouraged him to see his house, which had evidently fallen into a giant pit hole that had opened up in the middle of the hamlet, swallowing half of the residents, and the archery range that had also burnt down. But I'm sure it's good to be free of that zombification curse. And actually, speaking about vacancies in the hamlet, Dion has decided to take up farming and move into the farmhouse. It was once he donned his farming hat that he decided to tell us a story, or rather a dream, of fantastical machinery and flying ships.
It was amazing. They had mechanic sawmills, water wheels, and a flying boat.
God. Ooh.
It was a town out of this world. You boys could never dream of achieving what they had. Let me describe it for you. In the twilight of my darkness, I recollect a village, nestled amidst verdant hills, where the symphony of industry once harmonized with nature's tranquil aria. This bucolic realm, adorned with cascading waterfalls and whispering brooks, was a tableau of ingenuity, where colossal water wheels spun with the vigor of youth, driving mammoth sawmills that hewed timber with the precision of a craftsman's chisel. Behold, the pride of this rustic township, the steam engines, their belching chimneys reaching skyward like towering sentinels, their metallic hearts pulsating with the rhythmic cadence of progress. These mechanical marvels, with their pistons pounding and gears gyrating, wove the fabric of industry, breathing life into the dreams of artisans and visionaries alike. As I gaze back through the mists of time, the memory of this fantastical— oh look, there I am in the background. The memory of this fantastical village remains etched in my mind, a testament to the marriage of nature's beauty and humanity's innovation. A fleeting glimpse of a bygone era when the world danced to the tune of water wheels, sawmills, and steam engines.
Oh, Josh,
Oh, God. Where am I?
we're in Dion's field.
Is the sun setting? How long has it been?
With the sun setting, we had no idea how long we'd been lying face down in Dion's corn. Evidently now he was in bed and asleep, and we didn't want to wake him as he's deserved a long needed sleep. We figured we'll go back there first thing in the morning and discuss this dream, this vision that he showed us, as despite what he told us before we fell into this trance, we think it's all quite possible. After a divine sleep, I awoke early the next morning to, well...
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Josh. Did you sleep in my armor stand the whole night?
Whoa, it's padded armor. Let's go.
Josh and I wasted no time in getting to Dion's this morning. We skipped breakfast and I even held in my morning poop. As we passed by Francie, we took a wide berth. I get a weird feeling whenever I look at him in the eyes. Alright, Dion, now that you've settled down, we've got a few questions.
Oh,
You said something about flying. Dion proceeded to tell us about this grand ship, a flying boat, and I saw a spark in Josh's ocular cavity.
from what I could see, it all looked like stuff we could make. Something that we could do as long as we knew what we were doing.
I guess you're right. I can mentor you in building this machine.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
so this is where you come into play.
You're going to tell us that it looks right based on what you've seen in a fever dream as a result of a zombification curse.
Precisely.
Well, sounds good to me.
Well, with Dion seemingly in a better mood today, he agreed to help us in building this machine. He advised us that a main resource we would need is copper, and we might need a fair bit of it. In our off time, Josh and I had been mining. We collected quite a bit of stone and minerals, so we had a pretty good idea of where to find some copper. Josh gently lowered the hoist with me inside to the bottom of our shaft. The only issue with running the hoist is only one of us can use it, and the other has to use the ladder, which is quite dangerous.
Whoa.
Oh, you're right, buddy. What are you looking for? We're looking for some copper, right?
That's right. The orange stuff dotted around the walls.
Oh, well, what do you know? Well, I didn't think it would be that easy. I guess copper is the sort of thing that we haven't had a use for yet, so it's dotted around everywhere. We continued navigating our intricate mineshaft system to an open cavern that we discovered. If my memory serves me well, there was some copper in here, maybe. And as we entered into the chasm, the air became thick with the stench of, well, bat shit. I found myself gazing at one of the mounds of poop and noticed a small orange glint. Copper! I trudged through the feces and dug it out. And with that, I think we now have enough. It's time to head back and check in with Dion. Maybe I'll change my clothes. Alright, Dion, so we're in the Tinker Workshop. I don't think you've actually set foot in here before, but this is where Josh and I do our tinkering.
It's quite cozy in here.
It is a bit small, but it's serviceable.
We have our copper here.
Well done. You will now need to flatten it in the press.
You want us to use our press?
Did you hear me?
With our bounty of copper, Dion told us that we needed to flatten it in our mechanical press to form pipes and tanks. As Josh pushed the hand crank, the press came down and flattened the ingot into a sheet. That wasn't too bad.
Cool. How many times do we have to do this, Dion?
Roughly 50 times.
Oh. Oh.
Josh and I spent the rest of the afternoon and all of our energy into pressing these ingots into sheets, and we were only one step of the way there.
You guys are doing great.
Yep, thanks, Dion. We spent the rest of the night in the Tinker Workshop with Dion, prototyping, and we actually made some pretty good progress. We got about 2 hours of sleep before waking up the next morning to continue work. Josh had a weird dream. Dion was back from the... Oh, I noticed Josh's diary on the table. I decided to take a quick peek. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting pictures of naked skeletons. On the agenda for today was something quite exciting. Last night, late in the Tinker Workshop, we fashioned some pipes and some tanks, and it was time to lay them and see if we could suck some water up from this lake. If we could do that, then we would have an almost unlimited amount of water that we could use at our disposal. But that's when Josh saw something in the distance. Francie talking to another town member. He thought that maybe they were spreading rumors, planning to overthrow us.
Do you think they're planning against us?
No,
Do you think they're talking about how they're gonna draw and quarter us and tie us to posts and burn us
Josh
and
is
destroy
firing.
us?
Stop. I told Josh that would never happen. Francie will leave soon and Dion is back for good. Nothing can go wrong. Although Josh's intuition is one to be trusted. Putting that thought out of our minds, we decided to clear some area and start setting up this pump. The pump itself is comprised of a main pipe, a gear connecting to a hand crank, and spinning that gear creates a suction, which in turn pulls water through the pipe. After confirming that it works, it's time to get down and dirty with Josh and lay some pipe. After a short while of laying pipe, Josh and I had both arrived at the finish line. With one big tube laid, it was time to start spinning the crank and seeing if it would work. We were running into an issue though, the water wasn't going all the way.
Oh. It's because it can't go up another block from here.
Does it need another pump?
Yeah, maybe we need to to actually get it up there, we need to pump it from here, and then as soon as it gets to here, someone needs to pump it from here, which will keep it going, and the suction will keep it going.
No way.
And then we gotta pump it from the next spot.
We've got to leapfrog our way across.
Exactly.
On the contrary to popular belief, Josh doesn't actually have a brain. It decayed many years ago, but somehow he still comes up with clever solutions for modern problems. A series of tanks along the pipe to act as checkpoints for the water. Genius. Pumping, initiating.
Okay. Yep, the water's coming through. I'm gonna start pumping here.
Alright, I'm moving on to the next pump. Alright, pumping it through! She's going over the arch. Third tank is filling.
Second tank is empty. It's going through. We got a steady flow.
We managed to fill up the main tank at the slab where the town hall is supposed to be being built. I don't know. Someone get on that! And with a fresh supply of clean lake water, we could start construction of the actual steam engine. Now, under close supervision of Dion, we spent the afternoon trial and erroring. Using trial and error to reach a partially finished, not at all efficient steam engine. But hey, it is a steam engine and it's our steam engine.
I'm gonna give it a spin.
Give it a spin. I'll watch it over here. All right, we've got movement. All right.
Okay.
Now let it go.
It's still pumping.
Utilizing excess pressure inside the tank, we were able to actually use that to pump the water out of our storage tank. The engine just requires a little kickstart to get the process started. However, once it is started, the engine requires no maintenance as long as everything is running smoothly. A day well spent at the hamlet, I think. We won't be forgetting this one for a while. Being on such a high was quickly brought down as later that night I was awoken by a horrible dream. I ran over to Josh to see if he would help me. I gently knelt on his bed and asked if he was awake. But he told me it's just a dream and to go back to bed, you idiot. I couldn't shake the feeling, however. I decided to head over to the church just to put my mind at ease. And wow, I guess I didn't notice the ambush. Filled with adrenaline, I ran as fast as I could towards the church, slowing down before I got there as to not make a sound. Sure enough, there was chatter. Francie and the rest of the town, all in there. And what I overheard chilled me to my bones. Francie had used Dion's treatment as leverage to get the town to believe him. Francie was going to unleash a plague amongst the hamlet. I barged into Josh's room and told him to get up. I told him what I heard. Francie wanted to rule the world with an army of zombies and we were his first targets. Upon hearing this news, Josh knew his intuition was correct. We had two options: stay and fight for this hamlet, everything that we'd built and its people inside, or we could leave. With the pack being updated to 1.20, we had to leave. I knew of one vessel that we could use to escape. It was a boat that our first townsfolk came on. I hopped on board and moved it to the other side of the peninsula, all while Josh was gathering the balloon material spread in the center of the hamlet. We had to do this quick. We knew that Francie would strike soon. With the rain dampening the sound, we started modifying the boat, retrofitting this steam engine onto it. With the memory of my flying mishap a few weeks ago, we filled the balloon with hot air and it rose. Our barely efficient steam engine nestled in tight on the back of the ship. Meanwhile, Francie's zombie army was well underway. Everyone that followed him closely into that church was now a part of the undead, and he unleashed them on the hamlet, raining terror to those left. Josh and I ran over to save who we could, but it was too late. We couldn't hold them back any longer. We had to turn around and run. Neither of us thought this would happen so soon, but we had to leave the Spruce Hamlet. We returned to Kaylee on board, the only one that knew Francie was up to no good. We couldn't speak now, however. I had to start the engine, pulling the crank, hearing the steam whistle, watching the crankshaft spin. I could hear the fan, the propeller at the back, spinning, pushing us forward. Safe from the horrors being unleashed on the hamlet down below, we were now in the air. This is not the circumstance in which we wanted to experience this flight. We couldn't admire the beauty of the spruce hamlet below with what was happening there. We just had to have our eyes set forward and not look back. But Josh couldn't help himself.
God, they're swarming all over the place. Where are we gonna go?
We have provisions but we've got no destination. With provisions on board that would last a few weeks, we were safe to sail the skies, or at least until we were far enough away from Francie and their unethical quest to cleanse the world via zombification.
Alright, you man the helm, Kaylee. Whoa, God! Yeah, it's a little bit...